Well, we're live. Oh, I haven't done this in ages. I feel like I haven't recorded in ages, actually. Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and all that. Hope you've had a good one. So we're back in Farm Sim 25. This isn't replacing the other series. The other series will continue. I'm going to start recording those episodes today. But I thought we could do some live streaming. Because one thing I sort of dislike when I do Farming Simulator videos is all the time lapses. That it takes time lapses. You can't do a video. Well, you could skip over it, but you wouldn't see what was going on then. So I thought going live might be an idea. This is the first time I've gone live in many years. So if I'm a bit ropey, that's how it's going to be. So we're on the Frontier map. Let me show you the map before we get going. This is the map. I love maps like this. It doesn't, like, there's nothing here. There is no roads. There's no anything. Brilliant. Because one of my favourite things in this game is to build up a farm from scratch. So this is like, in the last game, it was No Man's Land. I spent a lot of time on there. And I've spent a lot of time on this map whilst playing with friends. So it's split up into, I've gone for the 69 plot map. There's three maps you get. You get this map, the 69 plot map. You get one with less plots, so I think you get an entire square instead of those squares being split up into four. And then there's a forestry map, which has got more trees into it. So let's have a jump into aerial view and have a look around. So this is the shop area. And then we've got a little base of operations, which I've never used. Some farmland you can buy, but where's the fun in that? We've got a shop over here to sell things and a warehouse at the back to sell things, which is amazing because that warehouse is tiny, but it buys a lot. A few animals, so that must be our animal dealer. Again, I'm not one for running backwards and forwards buying animals. I don't think the cost of, especially because most of the affordable animal transport early on in the game just doesn't hold many, so I don't mind paying the cost. Later on, if we got a lorry and we could get the big transport, I'd definitely take them and save some money. And then over here we've got the lumber mill, which we're going to build our own. It's a long way to go. And then pretty much the map is bare, which I love. Got some nice hills, plenty of trees, and plenty of open space as well. I really dislike the fact that it doesn't load everything in the distance. I'm sure I've got the settings set to maximum, and you could see that green line running along there. It's very annoying. Just load it all up. If my computer can handle it, give me the option to load it all up. There you go, that's my moan out the way. Over here we've got a little water source. I do like free water, so we may be visiting that regularly to start with. And I like the fact it's not all flat. It sort of makes it more challenging to build a farm, because there is pretty much no flat land here. It's all sloped in one direction or another. We've got £50,000 in the bank. We owe in loans £500,000, just because I thought it would add some interest to the proceedings. We have to pay that back at some point. We've got this tractor here, which is the John Deere 7810, 7810, 7810, I don't know how you'd say it. And then we've got a winch on the back. Pretty standard setup to start with. Wood is out of all the things to start with in this game to make money, wood's a good way of going. We also own a tiny bit of land over here. We own plot of land 49, farmland 49. As you can see, it's not that big, but it does have some forestry and some flat land. I'm definitely going to get into poplar. I've been doing poplar in my private sessions. Really good. It may take a long time to grow, but there is some money to be had there. I've also started testing out the new crops that's been added to the game, so spinach and green beans. Spinach I really enjoy. You can harvest that twice a year. Hi, great to see a live stream. Hi, Mick Woozle. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, so spinach you can harvest twice. Well, you plant it, you harvest it, fertilize it again, and then harvest it again, and then it sort of dies off over the winter. So that's really nice. Where am I going? 49, right? I've got nothing to guide me. Oh yeah, just keep going that way. We'll be there in a second. And then, what else have I done? Green beans I've just planted on my private game, so I can't comment on those yet. The biggest drawback with those is the price of the harvesters. Like if we go to the shop, they have, like, you have to have a specific harvester for each of them. So let's go down to harvesters. You've got the spinach harvester, the green bean harvester, and the pea harvester. And they're going to set you about like 635,000, 498,000, and 571,000. So not a small amount of money, but I have noticed the spinach one does come up in the sale quite often, which I haven't checked. We should check the sale. Yeah, there's not a lot there I want at the moment. So the reason I started off with £50,000 is because I want to put down a little sawmill. I think if we're cutting trees, we might as well use our own little sawmill. As soon as we can upgrade to a bigger one, that's definitely something I'm going to do. Oh, land is not owned by you. Yeah, we have to sort of draw out a field so we get an idea of where our land ends. So our land starts there, runs all the way along to about there. Okay, and then it starts here and runs quite a long way up here, I'd imagine. Yeah, just past the tree line. Okay, so a lot of those trees are ours. I'm thinking we could just drop it smack bang in the middle. It might make the ground a bit ugly at this precise moment. Or maybe we'll start at the back. Let's flatten it out. Let's do the proper thing and flatten it out. Terrain work is free. I've got the mod that makes it free. I just feel like if they gave me the ability to get a digger and a roller and flatten it out myself, that I wouldn't mind doing it. Right, I'm going to put that down like that. Then we're going to put the sawmill in. But it's quite expensive to do groundwork in this game. And I like doing groundwork. I don't like weird edges and that. I like it to look natural. Wait, where's it gone? There's the sawmill. We'll pop you down there like that. We'll soften the edges slightly. Obviously, we'll play around with this a bit later. I just want it to look a little bit nice to start off with. Get in our tractor and let's get some trees cut down. Now, there is one tree on this map that was driving me insane. And it's like the little bush looking ones. These ones here that we're driving up to now. These. Which I won't cut down here. We'll cut down closer to the... Closer to the sawmill. But because they're made up of 4 pieces... Years ago I used to watch an earlier version of FS. I don't remember them designing their own farms. Is this new to this version? If I remember correctly, it was added in the previous game. My memory is not what it was. But yeah, I'm sure it was added in the previous game. And I love it. I think it's added so much to the game. Brilliant. If you like building things and designing it yourself, great. Like, mods help a lot. So, for example, I've got... one of the mods I've got installed is if we go to others here, we've got the road mod. So you get road pieces like this that you can put down. I'm going to put one down. Can we stop the snapping? Yeah, snapping turned off. There we go. Well, that didn't make any difference, did it, game? Okay, we're just going to pop you there to show you. And it pops the road down. And then you just line up the next one. You tend to find the corner cuts off a lot, so I tend to overlap them at that point. But they do match up really nicely. And the great thing about this is your AI workers recognize that as a road. So if you want them to go anywhere, they'll follow that road. They'll recognize it. Yeah, that could be right. I didn't watch the previous version. Previous version was good. One thing I really want them to sort of work on is the animal care in this game. I always do animals. They're good money and I like doing them. But I feel like you don't have to put much effort into an animal. Put them down, give them some food, they're happy. Done. But yeah, these are the trees that annoy me. See, you can see they're made up of multiple bits and pieces. Rather than one trunk, there's 4. So when you cut them, let's go right down as low as we can. Cut them, and then they just split into 4 like that. They're just a bit annoying, and you don't even get much. Can I lift that? Yeah, you don't even get much wood off them. Put that one in. I presume I can lift all of these, right? He says. No, that one's too big. See, it's a lot of faff. So I tend to, because I've got the lumberjack mod installed, I'll show you what I do. Just ignore them. If I want them out the way, I'll go down. As long as you go down. Oh, see, now they've changed this. This used to go red. And when it went red, see it goes yellow at that point. When that went red, if you clicked and held, it would just cut it down and it would disappear. They've upset me now. Why have they done that? Wait, does that mean... Wait, I need to test something now. I missed my little red thing. One of the... Like, if you did it a weird way, you could get it to go red on these, like that. And then when you would click, it would just make it disappear. Oh, no. No, that's not good. Bring back my red, please. That's really annoying. Wait, let me put super strength on for this little bit, because it's not worth winching this. Again, the lumberjack mod comes with super strength. If you just press Alt twice, it puts it on, and then Alt twice to turn it off. So yeah, let's have a look how much that's put in there. Just to show you how unworthwhile they have. Change isn't always good. It's not always good. No, you're correct. You have to change in a good way. And I'm not saying they should change. I'm saying I'd like them to. I'm saying I'd like them to add animals. Or at least give us the option to turn it on and off. People who want to do it can. People who don't. Yeah, so that put in 430 litres. So you see why they're a bit pointless. Turn all these on. We'll produce it all. They all make good money. Right, let's get some trees winched over here. So... You don't feel mods lose the immersion? Some do. I think with mods you can make the game how you want it. Yes, cutting those trees down with the mod that made them disappear was not realistic. I agree. But I didn't use it on the bigger trees. I'd use a winch. Just because those little trees are everywhere and they took so long. It's my impatience. But yeah, I think there's a balance. It's like I've got a grain mill installed on the game. Which I thought, oh great, a new grain mill. I do like having different buildings. My help if I press the right button then. I do like having different buildings. But it's... You put in grain and it produces exactly the same amount in flour. Plus it produces pig food, and it produces stone, and it produces chaff. All the same amount. So you're not losing, like, you're quadrupling your quantities. Which is unrealistic. I think there needs to be a balance. If you want an unrealistic game, the options are there. Well, I do like... I like mods that sort of stick to the realism, if I'm honest. Oh, you were thinking super strength. Yes, no, I do agree. Again, that's very much a personal thing. A bit like autoloaders. You can get the trailers to auto-load things. Which I use in my personal game because it's for fun. I don't want to spend an hour loading up pallets. Because some of these factories in this game produce so many pallets, and especially if you've got multiple. So yeah, I would use it in my personal game, but if I'm doing like my series I've got going on this on my channel, I wouldn't dream of using it for that. I'd use a forklift. Now I forgot how to winch this. How does this winch? Control winch. Yeah, I thought it was. Control K. Then you can winch it in like that. You can do multiple trees at a time. I've been watching Farmer Cop's videos. I think it was Farmer Cop who said. Yeah, I think it was Farmer Cop who said that. It might not have been. It might have been someone else. I watch a few people do videos on this. That if you take the whole tree with the leaves on, you get more wood. You get a little bit more for leaving the wood and the stems and the leaves on. Because you can strip it down completely and just make it into the trunk and cut all the excess off. Which in the previous games is something you would have done because it was better. But in this version, not so much. To my understanding. Don't hold me to that. Oh, well, that was excellent driving. Well done, Roscoe. Hop out. Winch it in. Yeah, so we need to sort of make some money so I can get a plough. Although we got 13,000. That might actually get us a plough. So we can start making some fields and getting that poplar in the ground. That's going to be our big money maker to start with, I think. Well, that didn't work, did it? You literally just... Oh, there we go. Oh, driving is so much easier when you're not live streaming. So how much have we got in there now? Oh, it can hold loads more. Loads. I love these new small productions they've added to the game. These are new this year. These mini productions. Which I actually think's brilliant. They work, I think it's 10 times slower than the big productions. But they cost a fraction. So for example, if you look at the main sawmill, that one for example, 150,000. That one 300,000, but the one we're using 36,000. Lovely. It runs 10 times slower than the big ones, but it costs a fraction of the price. And I like that. I think like there are farms. If you watch Clarkson's farm, he's got his own little kitchen on site, so he can produce his products. And farmers do that. So it's really nice seeing that added to the game. Like, grab that. Hook it on. I don't know why, I always feel like I need to winch it in closer, but that's probably going to get stuck on the stump, which it did. How do you drive? Controller or keyboard? I use a keyboard. I am very much a mouse and keyboard player. Although I keep meaning to try my steering wheel on here. Which if we drove everywhere in first person, I would definitely use my steering wheel. But I spend most of my time in this view. I sort of feel like it's going to be weird driving with a steering wheel in that view. But I'm going to give it a go at some point and we'll see. Be nice for my steering wheel to get some more use actually. The only game I tend to use it on is Euro Trucker. There we go, cut another tree down. So another thing the Lumberjack mod does, you can actually cut... Wait, let's go to one I've done already, if I can find one. There's one. We'll go over there. Yeah, another thing the Lumberjack mod does, if you want it, is with your chainsaw... Wait, where's the stumps gone? Oh, there's one. Yeah, with the chainsaw, see it goes red... You can cut the stump out with your chainsaw. which is an option for people who want it. It is easier than a stump grinder, especially when you're starting out with such little money and equipment's expensive. Boo, bloody keyboard and mouse. Afternoon, Kenneth. Game should be played. Yeah, me and Toxic, I presume is how I'm pronouncing it. Me and Toxic have a very disagreement on. I'm stuck on the stump again. On whether it should be played on. Games should be played with keyboard and mouse. As a PC, I've always been a PC player and I've always played with keyboard and mouse. He's only recently became a PC player. He was a console player. So he very much favours the controller. So does the main game have none of these features? Yes. Well, like, for example, the Lumberjack mod adds to it. So, for example, you get the chainsaw, you can cut the trees down in the main game. This removes the, if you want to remove the branches, it's actually a bit fiddly in the new version. It used to be really easy in the last version, but this version is quite difficult. So this sort of reverts it back to the old version, so it's easier to remove the branches, and it gives you that bonus of being able to cut down the stumps. And then obviously it comes with super strength, which doesn't come in the game. That's always been a mod, or I think if you can do it through the code or whatever. I have no idea. So yeah, a lot of mods sort of just build on what's already there. You calling me a tube? That's very rude, Kenneth. Right. How much more can we get in here? A little bit more. So we'll cut down this one, winch it over. No, I'll cut it this way. So the tree always falls to the left of where you cut from. And you, like, I always cut straight. I'd imagine you should cut on an angle to make it fall, but the game doesn't require me to do that, so I never have. Do. There we go. Hook her up. There we go. You can do multiple trees at a time. Like if I was coming a longer distance, I would cut 2 or 3 trees down, hook them onto the winch, and then drag them all together. Oh, that was terrible. I was reading over on my other screen as well as driving. Don't do that, folks. McWoozle, I prefer keyboard and mouse. Yes, because it's better. Don't listen to Toxic. We know what we're talking about. Okay, serious question now. But what does it look... Why does it look so crap? I know you have a decent rig, but this looks awful compared to previous versions. I didn't make it. I asked the developers. I've actually got all the settings up high, so it should look good, but I don't think it looks that bad, Toxic. Don't think it looks any worse than the previous game. Oh, press the right button. Winch her in. I say her. All the trees are hers, I've decided. I do agree with that. Well, it looks worse. Right, that should fill it. Oh no, we've still got loads to do. Let's pick a big tree. Let's go with this giant one over here. In all fairness, on paper it should look better because they're using a new engine, right? I'm sure they are. I don't see, in all fairness, something about the graphics are definitely different. I don't think it looks as good as it should for a game that's just released nowadays. Like, I was expecting more. They've added ground deformation now, so when you drive... Oh, there's a tree there. When you drive across fields and things like that, it sort of it does deform the ground, which is nice, more realistic. Water ripples and like sort of reacts to how you go through it. All lovely things. But no, I do agree it should look better for a game, a brand new game in 2024, stroke 2025, because it's not actually been out that long. Like, yeah, I have to agree with you both. But I do enjoy playing it. There's like other things I find weird in the game. I'm going to go back to animals. So with chickens, you buy a rooster and you buy some hens. Great, then they can breed. All other animals do not require a male counterpart. I'll press the right button. Do not require a male counterpart. You just buy cows. If I buy 40 cows and I keep them happy, I will then eventually, over time, get 40 babies. Which tells me... Oh, that's not going to fit. Perfect. Okay, so we have filled it. Y, isn't it? Yep, there we go. Yeah, so all of them are female because they've all just had babies. Yet there's no male. It's very... looks like a cheaper alternative. It just looks basic, like they had a smaller budget, or maybe like with so many PC games, they're hoping the community will finish it off for them instead. That does happen a lot. But then the community also likes being able to do that. Companies shouldn't rely on it. Definitely not. I don't know. Time will tell. I was hoping if I cut that, it would take that last piece, but it did not. So there we go. That's happening. Let's have a look how much it's going to cost us for a plough or cultivator or something to make a field. If I go to the right place. Weeders. Aha. Is it a plough? Yeah, I don't really like ploughs. I can't control them that well. Got cultivators. There's one I'm looking for. Is it a subsoiler? Yes. No. Okay, it's here somewhere. I know it is. Disc harrow. No. Spaders? I'm sure it was a plough. Oh, there it is. I'm being blind. Love this one. Really good. This is a mod. This is not in the game. Not for £70. They shouldn't. Ha! No, I agree. Yeah, you can have 12 meters, 6 meters, and 9 meters. But obviously, each one requires more power, I'd imagine. Yeah, so 6 meters only requires 240 horsepower, which our tractor does not have. So we're going to have to stick with the small one. 17 grand, we can't afford it. Oh, still nice to see you doing... Apart from the breeding aspect, do animals behave realistically? Yes, yeah, like there's babies in it now, so you get baby animals and they'll jump around and act like a baby animal. Quite repetitive animations, but they do behave like animals. If you put food down in their trough, they come over to eat, which is what you'd expect them to do. So yeah, they do. I love that we've got custom colors. This is part of a mod as well, I think. The main game does allow you to choose certain colors, but this lets you go even further. Like if we want it bright pink and we want it to be metallic, we can do that. And I like customization. Games win me over with more customization. But we can't afford it anyway, so I'm just gonna... Maybe we'll just sleep. If we sleep, we'll... Oh no, because we got no way of transporting it then. Oh, that... Yeah. Oh, actually, if I just set it... So, ultimately, when it produces planks long, wooden planks and wooden beams, it'll produce pallets, which we then have to transport somehow to the shop to sell. We do have the option, however, of just going selling, and it'll sell it. You do lose money. You don't get the full price. Obviously, I presume they're charging you for transporting it themselves. But I think at this early stage, we're going to have to rely on that, which is a bit annoying because we're sort of giving them away money for nothing. But we're going to need something to move the pallet, something to load the pallet onto, and transport it. So we'll use a tractor. We could get a trailer. And then we're going to need something to lift it onto the trailer with. Do you have a farmhouse, or do you sleep in the tractor? You do have farmhouses in the game. But obviously, because I've started with nothing, we don't. So we will be sleeping in the tractor. Which is interesting, because the game doesn't give you a way of sleeping without a farmhouse. Like, for example, if we go to farmhouses... the cheapest one is this trailer, but that still costs £55,000 going upwards. Some of them are massively expensive. 375,000. Beautiful house, but I like starting with very little money, so I do have a mod that allows me to press Control Z and I can sleep anywhere I like. So I'm pretending I'm sleeping in the tractor, out in the wild. No way, Justy going live. I am live, yes. Hello. So yeah, you do, in the base game, have to have a farmhouse to sleep. But you need a lot more money. So I'm quite happy to use the mod for that. I don't think it's unrealistic that we could sleep in our tractor or out in the wild, staring up at the stars. Don't think that's unrealistic at all. He says, you may disagree. Right, let me have a sip of my tea. My tea has got stone cold. And all good intentions of starting straight away. And then my tea would have been warm. There's not a lot I can do at this point, so we are going to have to sleep. Because we need to produce a little bit more money. Although, we could make money. Ignore me. We can make money. Let's grab the tractor. We are going to just sell wood. Now, this does have a effect. Like, to your own sawmill, producing it into other things, you want to leave it whole with branches and things on. But if you're selling it as wood, I think 6 meter lengths is the best way of making money. No, that's fair. Just not this weather. No. Winter in the UK is not a time to be sleeping outside. I'm wrapped up nice and warm, as you can tell, but then I live in a house with no central heating, so I need to wrap up warm. But yeah, it's August. The weather's nice. I don't think it's that bad sleeping out here. I am going to use this to get rid of the stump, because I'd imagine if you hacked away enough at a stump with a chainsaw, it would do something. Right, connect. That's weird as well. The winch seems to have enough power to move the entire tree. Right, then we're going to go... Oh, yeah, so if I do that... Should we try... Is this tractor going to have the power to pull more than one? Maybe. And are we going to get stuck? Again, maybe. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pop that on there. We're going to winch it in. Like that. We're going to move up to... Because you need them quite close to be able to attach to 2 trees at a time. So we'll move up to there. We're going to unwinch and move away a little bit. And we'll cut this one down. And we'll try and take 2. We might not have the power, because I didn't go for a very powerful tractor. Wouldn't the tractor be too small for accommodation? Yeah, Yes. Yes, it would. It would be quite cramped. You have a very T accent, if you know what I mean. Yes. Would the tractor be too small for accommodation? Yes, yes, it would. Like, you've not got, like, if we get into first person, you don't have a great deal of room, but you've got a seat. You wouldn't have a great night's sleep, I don't think. There we go, back to first person. Whoa, when you zoomed out and the game looked atrocious. I thought it looked bad close up, but literally none of the background even rendered in. Yes, no, Toxic. I actually said about this at the beginning of the stream. Like, I know if you go into the code, you can change the render distance, but if you look, I've got a circle that renders as I move. And it drives me insane. I'm like, why wouldn't we have the option in the game settings to make it render long distances? I don't understand their thinking behind it. Because what? It's just like, I don't want to go into the code and change that. I want the option in my game settings. I understand not all computers can handle it, but if you've got a computer that can, you should be allowed to turn it on. So yes, I agree with you, Toxic. I don't like that either. Right, so if I press B on you, and then we press R, is it? And then we go to you and press B. There we go. We've got the two of them attached up. I don't want to do this in first person. Press K, winch them in, and we're going to drive them over to the sawmill and sell them as they are. You watch them get stuck on everything now. If I can just straighten them up, we'll be okay. Oh, this tractor's handling it. It's no problem. Requires less development and therefore earlier release. Yeah, but if it was like a brand new game that's never been done before, it wasn't a sequel, I'd sort of understand that. But there has been many of these. They should be well versed in making them by now. The game is £25. Is it? I don't know how much it is. I'd have to look on Steam to know that. Am I going the right direction? There's me chatting away. Yes, because the sawmill's all the way over here. I just need enough money to get a plough is what I need. Oh, I've lost all my momentum. Tractor's struggling now. Plus we are going uphill. Oh, there's so many trees through here. Let me through. It's actually doing very well. It's not got caught yet, which I thought it would. If we go left here, we could come out and onto the road. Yeah, so as I say, I think it's 6 meters is the best to cut these into to sell. I don't think the base game has the ability to measure how long they are as you're cutting them. But with the Lumberjack mod, it does give you that ability. An early release would maybe help with a tight budget. Happens a lot of the time with indie developers and paid early access. Yes, but this isn't an indie developer, is it? Like, how many farming simulators has there been? I know this must be one of your favourite games, but have you abandoned... No, TCG Card Simulator, I've just sort of put on the back burner until more's added to it. I just feel that each episode's pretty much the same. Motel Manager, no, I'm definitely going back to. As I say, I'm starting to record videos again. I want to live stream. See, Farming Simulator to do videos takes quite a long time, as you can imagine. Obviously, it's still the same length video, but if you take all the time lapses and how long that takes, I've gone to the wrong building here. So if I can start live streaming that, great. That's brilliant. But yeah, I'm definitely going back to Motel Manager. I really like that game. I think it's very well made. I think there's lots to do in it. So yes, definitely carrying on that series. TCG Card Simulator, I'll sort of hop in now and again as they get updates. But it is quite repetitive, and one of the biggest things to make money is opening cards. And literally I could sit there for an entire video opening cards just to get money to continue expanding my shop. And it doesn't make the best videos. Great game, don't get me wrong. I've always wanted a game like that. Like, I remember maybe a year or two ago, there was another game where you had a card shop, but it was more story based. Card Kings, was it, or something like that? Cardboard Kings, or really good, loved it. But the gameplay in that and the amount of things to do in it, again, that sort of let it down. Can I not just sell these? Oh no, I have to get out. Yeah, in the last game you would drag these in and they would just disappear and sell. Now you have to come over to this little thing here, press R, and we've sowed them. 848. Oh yeah, we're going to need to do a lot more trees. Or I could just rely on my sawmill, because this is a long way to come. Let's just crash. I've just destroyed your sawmill, madam. I hope you don't mind. I've just took out the side. You look really happy, you do. This is new as well. We've got people in the game now. Look how immersive this person is. You need to get the new Chocolate Factory Simulator. That released yesterday. I bought it, it's fun. I played the demo and I'm considering uploading some videos. You've got a YouTube channel? Have you set it up? Gambling with actual profits. Yes, yeah, very much so. So, Chocolate Factory Simulator, is that the one that's a bit steampunky? I presume. Is it? Because there was two, wasn't there, that came out. One was a bit steampunky, which I saw a lot of people do. I'm guessing it's that one. TCG kind of sets an unrealistic perception of the real TCG scenes. I love collecting Pokemon cards, like, so much. I even started a channel on it. I just didn't. It takes a lot of money to do these things, because obviously you need products to open on every video. And not yet. No, I'm aiming and aiming about. Yeah, go on, do it. Start a YouTube channel. We can do some collabs. Yeah, I love collecting them, and you do. Like, I feel like TCG card game, you get the rarer cards a lot easier than in real life. Like in real life, you can buy really expensive box sets and still get rubbish pulls out of it. But when you do get a really good card, it's lovely. Like I think my highest card value-wise is about £50. If it was like TCG Card Shop Simulator, great. I'd collect a lot more cards. Would be nice to have you playing Chocolate Factory Simulator with a Willy Wonka outfit. I'd love a Willy Wonka outfit. It's, yes, that's a winner. I am going the right way. I'm shocked. Yes. Yeah, see, I could do that. I'd happily do that. But now, if I was going to play a Chocolate Factory Simulator, I'd expect many options for me to be able to create what chocolate I like, and lots of customization. I want to make it mine. Does it have that? I'm going to have to check this game out. Like games like that, where you're running your own factory, producing your own chocolate, I'd expect to be able to customize lots of things. The packaging and maybe the shape and what ingredients go in, definitely there should be a huge array of ingredients and I should be able to choose what I put in it. not just stuck to a set recipe. Just saying. Obviously the chocolate's going to be a set recipe, but you should still be able to tweak it. Toxic. Is any of these things accurate to the game? Let me know. Yeah, I think I'm going to sleep. Just because we took 2 massive trees and got £800, which is nice, but it's such a long way to go. It'll just be easier if I sleep and produce something from my own sawmill. So let's press Shift Z, is it? Yep. We're going to sleep till 7 o'clock because we're a farmer, so we get up early. See, that looks nice. The nice starry sky. Did we make some money? No. Yes, we did. Loan interest. See, that's another weird thing. It puts up your negatives in the top right when you start a new day, but it doesn't pull up your positives. And clearly we've made money because we're up to £20,000 now. So if I go to finances, which is that one, finances, we lost £47 in production costs. That's fine. Product sold £3,410. Loan interest. That's, yeah, so that's our loan. £1,666 a month. And a month is a day in this game because that's how I've got it set up. You can make it as long as you like. If you want to actually play a month, you can change it to that, I presume. I don't see the point, but you can. Yes, it does. I did a 90-minute recording that I'm sending to my phone. I'll show you it on Thursday morning. Okay. Yes, I look forward to seeing that. Have you decided against Try Fast Food Sim? Fast Food Sim. Do I know what that is? Fast Food Sim? I'm going to have to look that one up. Right, so we got money. Let's have a look in the sale. Love the sale. I think having a sale in this game is brilliant. Every day it changes what's in it. So if we click here, it's pretty much what was in it yesterday. Wow, thank you very much, game. But again, you get like 57% discount. But obviously they're not in great condition. They're going to take more maintenance. So swings and roundabout on that one. Trying Fast Food Simulator. You did one. Is that the one? Wait. Fast Food Simulator. Oh, that's... Oh, yes. Fast Food Simulator. Great game. Sorry. I had a brain fart then. That's the one we played and I got annoyed with the stupid timescale. Yes, me and Toxics played that together. I actually think for a demo, it was probably one of the best made demos I've played. It was really well thought out. It was really well polished. My issue with Fast Food Simulator, it's designed for multiplayer. It just is. Like, you can do the first couple of days solo, and after that point, you had, like, me and Toxic played it, and even with 2 of us, once you got to a certain point, it was crazy. People didn't wait long enough. You didn't have time to prepare stuff. Yes, you could prepare, like, the burgers and that. You can cook them before you open, which I think is ridiculous, because you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't serve a Stone Cold burger. But I get why that's a thing. But then you have to pour your ice creams to order and your fries, and your fries are sat there, but you have to get all these things, and people just don't seem to wait long enough. It gets really hectic really quickly. Toxic will agree with me, I'd imagine, in the comments. No, it was annoying. The only upside was I could call my restaurant the Slaughterhouse. Yes, okay. So yeah, love the game. And if they've added staff now, that might be a different story. If I can hire staff to help me out, I would consider doing more on it. They've changed the modes now. Easy, normal, hard, etc. It's better than it was. I play solo. Oh, Okay, McWoozle, I will actually go and check that out, because I did really enjoy the game. It had so much that I liked about it. So yeah, I will go and check it out and see what they've done to it. Now, let's buy a plough. Again, can we get away? See, this is a mod, this one. It says we need 320 horsepower for 9 meters. So my tractor's probably not going to pull a 9 meter one, right? 12 meters is a bit mad for the amount of land we got. I'm going to go 6 meters. We're going to play it safe. Any preference on colour, people? What colour do you want my plough to be? If none of these take your fancy, I can make my own colour. We can have glossy, we can have metallic, and we can have matte. Maybe worth another look. Yeah, definitely Toxic. We will have to jump in and check it out. And if it is more realistic in solo play, I'll definitely do another episode on it, if not more. They have a table cleaner and a waiter. See, that is ideal, because getting out there and collecting the money and clearing the tables was one of the hardest things to find time to do, because you were so busy serving customers. Brown? Are you real... Brown. Wait. I'm going to go brown metallic. Really? Well, you chose it. We're going brown. Design colour. What's that then? Oh, that's those. Oh no, they should probably stay dark grey, I'd imagine. Yeah, brown it is. That hasn't cost us to paint it, has it? No. So let's buy that. Now we've got to jump back. We've got to drive all the way over to the shop to pick it up. You're doing your thing, that's fine. I'm going to leave the winch here because we don't need it. And I'll give you a tip. If you're... Maybe metallic over matte. Oh. But the brown slightly gives it a rusty look. Looks rusty. Yeah. Don't mind that. It actually look... I thought brown, when he said brown, it was going to be hideous. But it doesn't actually look that bad. Yeah, I was going to give you a tip, actually. If you're playing this and you can't be bothered to drive backwards and forwards, which I know some people can't, if you go to map, click on your tractor and press reset. I don't encourage this, but if you want to, you can. So now when you reset it, it goes back to the shop. So if I press tab, I'm at the shop. Nice if you want to save some time. Obviously, if I'm recording and I'm missing the drive out to the shop, which I do a lot because there's so much to get done, the least fun bit is driving to the shop in a video, so I tend to get it out. So it's ideal for someone recording. If you just want to save a bit of time, just do that. But I wouldn't do it when I'm like, I wouldn't do it in the video because that looks rubbish. Looks rusty. It also hides the mess. It also hides the mess, is what Toxic said. Right. Oh, we got some fog. See, I like some of the things they've added. I like they've added fog and weather effects. We've got tornadoes now, which is nice. Like, disasters are nice, but it's not something I look for in a farming game. City skylines, disasters, I get that. I just think you could have concentrated on so much more, but you've put disasters in the game. But the fog, I love. I think that's a really nice touch. Like, different weather scenarios. The weather is a bit odd in this game, though, I've noticed. Like, when it hailstones for a long time. I don't know why I'm driving up here. Like, really long time. And it tends to be in July, which, coming from the UK, is very, very odd having... I don't know whose sort of weather system the game's based on. I presume, somewhere that has hailstones in July. And they go on forever. But they look nice. They jump off, like when they hit the floor, they bounce around and that. Some of the things they've done, great. Adds to it, looks lovely. And then other things I just think... But again, hailstones can damage your crop, which I don't know if they do in real life. But if they do, fine, I understand that. And you do have the option in the options to turn it on and off. Can you have a UK farm? No. In the game, in the base game, you've got an American farm, a European farm, and a Chinese farm, I want to say. Which is interesting because we've never had anything other than European and America. So it wouldn't be surprising if they did bring a UK map, because UK maps are massively popular. They've all, like, modders have always done UK maps and they've always been really popular. So I find it odd that they wouldn't think of going down that route for expansions and things, but time will tell. But yeah, you can definitely get a UK mod modded. Not yet. We're waiting for someone to release one. But in the previous games, some of the UK maps were just lovely. Just out of curiosity, did you see the keynotes video at CES regarding the new... No, I did not. Was it interesting? Fog with sun rays is such a good combo. Yes, it really is. It looks lovely. It really does. Oh, so you can do it all with a mod. Cool. Yeah, prime example. This map is a mod. There is no plain empty maps in the game. So this is a mod, and I love plain empty maps. I like to just... I do think the game experience is enhanced massively with mods, which you do find with a lot of games nowadays. They do tend to rely on the modders. Right, so we're pretty much... Wait, if I go there, we're going to work our way over to the edge of our land, which is that direction, right? I wish this green square would actually show up on the map in the corner. Right. I think that's the edge, and then we've got to go that way, he says. Wait. Oh, we've just gone over the boundary. Okay. Yes, I liked your UK city skylines. I love doing my UK city skylines. I really did. Like, City Skylines 1, I spent so much time in. So much. City Skylines 2, I can't deny it. I was so excited for it, and then I was a little disappointed. Or a lot disappointed, I'm not going to lie. But I have no doubt that they will make it into a great game like the first one. Right, so we can actually use this to make a field. I just want to make sure I'm going in a somewhat of a straight line. I think I need to go that way a bit. If you're going in a straight line, the field... Oh, no. I've got field stones turned on. No. One thing I am not doing is field stones. So, yeah, they've got field stones now. So when you plough, stones come up, which they would in real life. Ooh, I love empty maps too. Feels satisfying to... Yes, it really does. You want to see my private game that I'm doing on this map. It's coming together beautifully. A plain empty map for an American farm is logical. Got to have the freedom of over how much you... Yes, but with some of the mods I've got, like the road mod and that, I'm actually building quite a British feeling farm. Yes, City Skylines 2 leaves a lot to be desired. It does, but I do have faith that they will get there eventually. I really enjoyed my futuristic city on City Skylines as well. You had all the flying cars and futuristic buildings, and then those big domes with the farms in and that. That was nice. I did enjoy that one. That took a lot of mods though. What was I doing? I was turning off field stones. Yeah. So field stones is a thing. But again, I like the fact they've given us this option. So you can turn off crop destruction. Don't know why you would. Periodic ploughing required. I think that should be on. I think you should have to do that because you would in real life. Field stones, again, you would in real life, but it's such an annoyance for such a small amount of... I'll show you in a minute how much it costs to pick up those stones. Lime required on, weeds on, yep, fine. Disaster destruction enabled. Yeah, okay, we'll leave that on for the time being. So yeah, so I've started ploughing. There's the stones. Now, what these do is your equipment will be damaged from going over them. So when we come to seed it and spray it, and these are going to damage your equipment, which is fine, realistic, I know. But to pick those up, we are going to need a stone picker. The only one available is this one, which costs £56,000. And it has a working width of 5.5 meters. And you get a tiny amount of stone out of it that you don't do anything with. So I do love the fact they've put it in the game and it's there for people who want it. Just not for me. I think that's fair. Again, I love this designer plough. I find it much easier to control, especially when you're making a new field. Like the big long ploughs that sort of go to one side. I struggle massively with those. And this plough was in the previous version, so I was really happy to see it come back into this version. I don't really want to go square. I feel like we need to put some roads in first. Like, if we go and put some roads in... Because I don't like completely square fields. It's just not for me. I like a bit of texture and shape to my fields. So if we bring the road... Let's say we're coming this way. Like, oh no. See, now that annoys me. That's not lined up properly. We must sell it. Sell it and start again. Right, over the corner piece. Like that. And then one more. And then if I press F, we can change it to 15% curve. I think that will work. Pop it on. Rotate it slightly. Pop it on. Yes. Okay, I'm going to go one more. I like wiggly roads like that. I love the fact it fits to the land, the slope of the land. It doesn't change anything. Lovely mod this is. Then we're going to do a straight piece. Oh. Is that? That's not straight. Is it? No, that's really annoying. Oh, it's supposed to go there, is it? No, see. No. Shan't. I like a bit of a shape and texture. I'm sure you do. Right, if I turn snapping off, will that help? Not really, so we're going to have to go on that angle. I just need it to... Yeah, that's right. I can live with that. And then that one can go there, and then we're going to go back to a bit of a bend, but the other way. Yeah, perfect. I think this is the best way of doing it. Laying out the roads first. And then building the fields around it. On my private game, I started just doing this. I would start in now. And ended up with very square open fields. And it just felt quite American, I suppose. And then eventually when I got the money, I bought over this way and started doing it this way. And I'm slowly going to replace all the others with this sort of style. That's the plan. Like, curve back. Maybe we'll have a tight bend at this point. Tight bend just there. And there. One disappointment with these is they don't show up on the map. That's the only thing I'd like to see added to this mod. I don't know if it's doable, but that would be nice. Pop you in there, lovely, and then turn it one more. Yeah, I think that's good so far. So we can plow up to that. Any chance you're going to play Truck Driver Sim? I haven't considered it. I have to admit, I do like a truck driving game. Euro Truck Simulator. Again, me and Toxic spent a lot of time in that game. I presume Truck Driving Sim is similar, right? I want to leave quite a gap because you want a bit of a boundary, and then I'm going to put some hedges around here. Yes, lovely. Okay, this is good. Although I may not have as much of a gap as I think once I put the hedges in. How big do I want this? I feel like, wait, let me go to above view. We can only go to there, right? That's, oh, we can see on the map now, so that'll show us. The American take on truck driving. Well, it's not similar, but not. Well, it's similar, but not really. Okay, so it's something I need to check out. I do like an American truck, though. They're much better looking. Maybe I will. Yeah, I might finish that one there, and then we'll do another one here. And then eventually when we buy plot 48, we can expand those fields. Yeah, we'll do that. I do like a bit of a curved edge as well. I like, rather than having a square one. Wait, which way's straight to the road? That way, he says. Uh-huh. This is going to be a very odd-shaped field. Oh, I tell you what we could have done. We could have put a dirt track. Wait, I'm going to jump out so I don't use fuel. We could put a dirt track down the middle between the two fields. That sounds like that would be nice. This is the only thing I don't like, is how it joins to the road. So if I go there, should we say? That actually joined really nicely. That's the best join I've ever done with these roads. There's a lot less to line up with these, though. Can we have a slight... No, that's not slight, is it? There we go. Slight curve to the left. Pop you in, and then we can start going straight again. There we go. Perfect. Pop you in there. Yeah, I think that's good. And then we can access the field from both sides. Perfect. Now, I don't want to go too far at this point. Because if we go too close to the boundary, like so, it might stop us. It might stop us harvesting that point or doing anything. I'm going to hope not. So now we're going to go along the boundary, apparently. It's because I think it counts where you are by the middle of your tractor. So like if I had a long one of these, the left-hand side could be over the boundary when you do it. Could be. And then that bit you can't actually access once you've made it. If you mean truck driver is not very good, Map is small and AI is useless. Alaskan Road Truckers is much better, especially as you play the part of an actual person and not just a vehicle. I actually think that is something... Yeah, see, you don't play an actual person in Euro Trucker. But ETS and ATS are still miles better than the alternative truck driving games. See, ATS, right, I bought that when it first came out. That was the very first truck game I bought. And I really enjoyed it. You only had one state at the time, I think. And then I went, ooh, they do a European version. And I bought that. And then I've never, ever, ever played American Truck Simulator since. Which I should, really. I should, because there's been loads done to it. I suppose it's because I'm from Europe. I want to drive around Europe. Although, you could just incorporate the two games together and we could have the entire world. That might be a bit much. Maybe a little bit. Right, first field is going in. Once I get this done, I want to go and make a quick cup of tea. Because mine went cold. Yeah, Euro Truck Simulator is so well done. I could cut this part of your stream out and put it besides a TTS video and put it on TikTok. Hi, Tempe Builds. How's it going? Thanks for stopping by. You could, yes, you could. I've not played ATS mainly because I get bored of all the US based games. So yes, no, I agree. ETS 2 is refreshing being European, because obviously a lot of things tend to get based in America, or it's very American. This game is a prime example. We don't have a British map, even though they're really popular. We do have a European map, but again, to a British person, they feel weird, and I'll tell you why. In the UK, our fields tend to be surrounded by fences and hedges. Where I know where the European one is quite open still. There's no boundaries to the fields. And I've seen that when I've been abroad. That they're just open. A road and a field and nothing blocking it. Where in the UK, we don't have that. We have hedgerows around everything. So it still feels far too open for us. And I do like the idea of putting hedges around the fields in this game. I like narrow lanes and hedges, and makes it interesting to drive around. It's not, you can't just put your foot down and go wherever you like. You have to actually maneuver around the tight lanes and that. That's the plan with this. Lots of bends, lots of tight lanes. If you've ever been to the UK, you know our little country lanes only fit one car down, but they expect to go both directions. And I'm not the best passenger, so when a car comes flying towards me, I'm like, ah! This is my professional ploughing here, where we should be going up and down, up and down, up and down. Let's do it professionally. We'll go up and down, like how you're supposed to. I have failed to drink 5 cups of tea so far today. I've been playing modded Skyrim and getting caught in it and failing to drink my tea. So I'm having a break to watch you and having a cuppa. I don't blame you. A cup of tea is always good. Yeah, I do have that issue. I make a cup of tea. I think, oh, this would be nice. Sit down, do some gaming, drink my tea. Next thing you know, an hour's gone by and your tea is stone cold. Which is exactly what's happened here. I made a cup of tea thinking, oh, I'll drink... Oh, look, see, I can't talk and professionally plough. I'll drink that, it'll be lovely. And then I've got caught up in farming. And now it's stone cold. There does always seem to be... Can you see all the weird particles floating in the air? I'm guessing it's like pollen or something? I don't know. Or insects, maybe. It might be insects. There just seems to be a lot of it. Like... Don't know. I don't mind it. It adds a bit of something. I'm just never sure what it is. Just seems a lot like you can see it. I don't know if you can see it on stream. But you've got all these little particles floating around and... I've never noticed that when I've been out in the country. I might have to look out for little floating particles. Right. That is the first field ploughed. We'll get a second field in. And then we're going to have to save some money to seed it. Because a seeder's not cheap. Not cheap at all. I might have a mod which gives us... Because another thing the game I find lacks is the ability to have, like, old small equipment. Everything's quite big in this game. Oh yeah, this plough has an issue with roads. So if you watch, when I drive across here, it's like I'm driving into a brick wall. It must be something to do with the hitbox. But anyway, yeah. So there's no, like, small, old little tractors and things like that. Again, you tend to rely on mods for that sort of thing. Let's have a look. Cedar. I am going to make a cup of tea in a second, but I want to see how much. So cedar's 39,500. 33,500. That's a nice small one, but it's still £33,000. Oh, wow. Cedars are expensive. 49,000? Yeah, so I think that's the one we're aiming for. 33,000. Look at this thing. £150,000 just for the main body. And then another 225,000 for the attachment to actually do the planting. Wonder if the cedar selections are realistic. I'm guessing so. I think they do a very good job on the models and the vehicles and things. Like, they are beautifully done. And I think they just go with modern things, so you don't see a lot of old things in here. What is that? That looks like a monster and a half. How much is that? 312. No. We could always look at planters which do... So these sort of plant wheat, barley, things like that. The planters will do sweet corn and things. 49,500, 45,000. Yes, they're even more expensive. We could be lucky and get one in the sale. We could. Right, I'm going to quickly make a cup of tea. We're going to come back and get this other field done. And I'm back. I've got a cup of tea. I'm happy. Now, we need to figure out this field. How far can we go this way? Quite a way, I reckon. I reckon this is going to go quite a distance. Obviously, we haven't put the road in, so let's drive the tractor over to the boundary. At least we got a line for this one so we can see this. So we'll use this as a marker. We'll put the road in up to here. I'm going to get out so I don't waste fuel. We are a poor farmer after all. Rotate this round. Bring that in there, lovely. And then I'm going to go boop. Turn the other way. Let's go quite tight, I think. Rotate it round. This road mod, this should be in the game. You should be able to put roads down like this. And the fact that the AI drivers recognize it is just brilliant. There we go. Pop you in there. Do I want to continue that way? No, we'll go straight, I think. There we go. Lovely. Pop you in. Ooh, that video is sent to my phone, so all good. I'll try to do another one when I get access to the design and stuff, though. But you might not see that till Saturday evening. Okay. I'll look forward to it. And then let's go a bit more. Obviously, once we've cut down all of these trees, we'll have even more land that side. And then one more. That should bring us to... That's too far, right? Yeah, there's a weird... I sort of want it one in between that and that rotation. But I can live with this. That's fine. That looks nice and smooth. Perfect. Let's go and put some hedges in. Make sure we've left enough space. These are my favourite. These ones here. £100 each. Luckily, luckily, the hedges don't cost me money. Trees cost me money to put down. Hedges not so much. These are a bit temperamental as well. So, because I think they sort of lay on a grid. See what I mean? Like, it's a bit odd how these work. But you just go for a bit and then you can just fill in the rest with other ones. Yeah, see, we haven't left much room there. Because it's pushing them so far back into the field. Can I get one there? That's quite close to the road. We might leave that as a gap a minute. Come back to it. Yeah, see, on this angle, this row, we're fine. It's just when we come off of that and go around a bend. Yeah, I think it's gridded. It seems to be like random grids. Can I get one more in there? No, that's fine. Then I'm going to come down here to this £50 one, which is quite a large one and goes in quite a small space normally. But it just adds a bit of colour and height variety. So we'll come through and put a couple of those in. Let's have a couple there. One there. What else can we use? What do they look like? I bet they're tiny. Oh, they are tiny. They're like little ferns, are they? I quite like those, though. When are you used to cities? When you were used to cities, bit of a pity. Yes, very much so. But then if you think, I don't know, City Skylines was out for so long and I do think the modding community added a lot to the game, especially from my point of view. From the sort of cities I like to build. Can I get one in there? No, that's not going to let me. Like the cities I like to build. I feel like the modding community really made that possible. But yeah, ultimately, the first game, much better. 100%. Which is such a shame, because they had their audience. They had people who loved that game, and they had the original game. All they had to do was build on it. Oh, I've gone too much there. Yeah, all they had to do was build on it, and they sort of failed. sadly. There we go. So we've got some nice hedges along there. I always like to put fencing in. I feel like seeing the fencing poke through, but fencing's expensive, so we're gonna leave the fencing for the time being. Right, let's get this field done. Dad says hello. Hello, Dad. Or voice, should I say. That's true. I forgot I did have a lot of mods. I had so many mods. Like, a couple of thousand mods, if I'm honest. Because I'm one of these people. They put these buildings in games, and I'm like, oh, that's nice. We've got some lovely police stations and fire stations. But of course, I don't want to use those. I want to use something different. Bit like doing a UK city. You just needed everything modded. You needed new buildings, because the buildings in cities is very, very American. And then you needed new cars, and you needed new this, and then the supermarket mod. I loved that with the supermarkets. That really good. But yeah, so many mods. Like when I did the futuristic city, you can imagine how much I needed mod-wise for that. I just think, because we were so used, one of the things I struggled with the City Skylines 2, I was so used to having so much to be able to build with. And obviously, because it's been so long since we had to play with a base game, it just felt a bit sparse. There didn't seem to be a lot. I'm trying to stick to the line. I can't see the line. Oh yeah, there we go. We're too far over. That's fine. We'll just go backwards. That's true. I forgot. I did have a lot of mods. I still play Cities 1. Have no interest in 2. No, I gotta say, if I'm going to play Cities, it's going to be the first one. Definitely. I could quite happily load that up and build a city. But again, from my point of view, mods again, the Move It mod and things like that, they gave you the ability to do those tweaks. Definitely made the game what it is to me. And I just think, as a developer, like the Move It mod and that, pretty much, I'd imagine, I reckon 90%, well, not even the Move It mod, some of the mods, 90% of the player base use those mods. So as a developer, I'd go, do you know what? If I'm doing a second one, and the player base clearly wants this, I'd put it in the game. It would annoy the modders, because then they wouldn't have anything to do, but... But yeah, I think over time, Cities 2 will get there. It will be the successor that we wanted. Just needs some tender, loving care. Right, so we've got 2 fairly good-sized fields here to start with, I think. We've got no money. And I'm avoiding using loans, because I'm already £500,000 in debt to the bank. And obviously, the more we take out, the more interest we're going to pay. Oh yes, but I think mods, they made it much better. Traffic mod and Move It alone were game-changing, yes. Oh yeah, the traffic mods that are like, yes. Being able to control which lanes were for what and all that, just, that should have just been in base game anyway. I don't think they realised how popular traffic management was going to be when they sort of decided to do it. Which is interesting, because if I'm correct, I may be wrong. City Skylines was made by the developers who made Cities in Motion, was it? Sure, it was the same people. I may be completely wrong, but that's sort of what my brain's telling me. Now, I loved Cities in Motion. Cities in Motion was almost like a Transport Tycoon style game where you built transport systems within a city. But as a bonus, they gave you a city building tool, which proved to be more popular More popular than the actual game. I remember, like, it wasn't a good city building tool. Like, you had to place every individual building one by one. I remember spending days and days just building tiny little areas of a city. I never ever managed to build an actual full-size city. I think you are correct. Thanks, I thought I was. So yeah, I suppose it was a happy little accident that they stumbled onto City Skylines, really. It was that extra that they gave us. The ability to build cities that they used. They just gave us the tools they used. And it wasn't designed as a game in the slightest. It was a nightmare at times. But that just sparked it. And they went, do you know what? We'll do City Skylines. And city building wise, City Skylines does what it says on the tin. But there's so much more to a city, like the traffic and everything like that. And that's where the modding community came in. They gave you the ability to control all of that. And I do think it's been a very long time since I played City Skylines 2. Since it came out, I sort of tried to get on with it. Didn't really succeed. I'm sure they've given you some of those abilities in City Skylines 2. I'm not sure they've done them as well as the modders. I know that sounds strange, but I feel like... Or maybe it's just because I'm so used to using those mods. So the good thing about making our own fields at this point is because we've got grass down. Anytime you plough grass into a field, so say you planted a field of grass and then you wanted to use it for corn, so you plough it. That layer of grass actually gives you your first level of fertilization. And hand in hand, if you are going to do a field of grass, which we will do, because we're going to need bales and that for the animals, so field of grass is very important. It's probably one of my biggest fields normally. You only need one application of fertilization each year, because the grass counts as one itself. There you go, full of information. I've actually got a grass roller. So after you harvest, the grass will need rolling, and that adds a layer of fertilization. So grass is a fairly straightforward thing to do in this game. And it was a big thing to do in previous games, because silage was big money. Massive money. But every single version of this game they release, they sort of reduce how much silage is worth. Till we get to this version where I don't think it's not going to make you huge amounts of money anymore. Not like it used to. It's very much you use it for the animals like it was intended for. Will you be streaming Manor Lords and Medieval Dynasty? I don't have either of those games. Both of those games are up my street. Manor Lords and Medieval Dynasty both look amazing. It's not games I currently have. They are definitely on my list to get. Definitely. As a sort of a huge, let's be fair, huge fan of Banished. I've done a few series on that. They're like, from the looks of it, they're that sort of thing. Which sounds right up my street. Like, massively. So yeah, they are on my list to look at. The issue is there's so many good games coming out over recent, like, you just get into one and then another good game comes out and another good game comes out, and that's one thing I struggle with as a content creator. I tend to like to do, if you see my YouTube channel, tend to do long let's plays. Like I remember doing Gear City, and I think we had, that was very early in my channel. I think we did 50, 60 episodes of that. But the issue is when you're doing these long Let's Plays, you're missing out on all these new games that's coming out. It's one reason I like Steam Next Fest. So for like a week every now and again when the Steam Next Fest is on, I get to try all these different games. They tend to put all the other Let's Plays on hold and just do lots of first looks. So we get to, I do get to look at them. I just don't get to dive in like I like to. If I didn't work full-time, I'd spend so much more time in gaming. I'm leaving my tractor there. I don't know why. I don't know what I can do at this point. We need that cedar. Like now. So, let's have a look at the map. We can do a field that... I was just thinking, can we do a field this side? But I think... because that's our sawmill, and I'm sure there's trees past that. Let's go and drive up there and see what the boundary is. Yes, I enjoyed your Banished series. Thanks. I actually really enjoyed Banished. I probably made loads of mistakes, which I did. People like to point out what I was doing wrong. But I was sort of learning as I went. Like, before doing those series, the last time I played Banished was back when it came out. Back then. And then Mega Mod adds a ridiculous amount of things to it. So you're sort of overwhelmed with sheer quantity and what does this. But the great thing about Mega Mod was it allowed me to sort of go that extra mile whilst building those cities, putting those details in, designing it slightly different. Like my water city, that was very different from the city I did before. We could put a field in here. A slim, long field. Okay, let's go right to the edge. Yeah, the issue with McWoozle, the issue with like Banished Mega Mod, and I suppose a bit like, because I like Euro Truck Simulator. Oh, awesome mod. Pro mods. Both amazing things, but the issue is, especially with Euro Truck Simulator, updating these things isn't always straightforward. Like pro mods for Euro Truck Simulator, I think it's 8 files, is it, you have to download? But you have to wait so many seconds between each download unless you want to pay for them. And then as soon as Euro Truck Simulator gets an update, you then have to re-download all of those files again. Because I started a Euro Truck Simulator series in Pro Mods, and I love it, I really do. But having to update it every time something new comes out, bit of a pain. I'm just starting up a new Banished village. I want my last achievement, the one where you have to have 500 peeps after 200 years. I've tried it a few times. I hope I manage it this time. I hope you manage it too. Fingers crossed. It's gone very dark in here. Right. I hadn't even noticed. It's because you can clearly see me on the screen with the webcam. I say you can see me. I don't know how much you can see me. I forgot to put the light on. Right, so let's start here. No, I want to be up in the corner, right? We want to be right up in this corner. We can build roads on this side afterwards. This is very much... Right, if I press 3 for cruise control, we'll try and get it in a straight line. Now, you can tell if it's in a straight line, because if you watch that edge of the field, it will be straight. If it's slightly off, it starts to step as you're going along. But I think that's bang on, look. Look at that. It's not bang on. Looking at the map in the bottom corner. It was a straight line. Oh, okay, okay. Lift that up. We may have multiple fields over here. You look fine, nice and bright. Oh, that's fine. Thank you. These things don't cross my mind. I'm not used to using a webcam or live streaming. Look, like, I honestly don't remember the last time I did live streaming. Wouldn't have been the 50th anniversary, 50th episode of Gear City, would it? Maybe, possibly. I can't remember. I'm actually on YouTube and Twitch at the same time at the moment. I've never done that before either. I've always streamed on YouTube. There we go. Off we go. Have a sip of my tea. I've forgotten about it already. Look. Do you have a channel Discord? I do not currently. I did have a Discord channel. But no one joined it. So I sort of gave up on it. This field's on a really weird angle if you look at that map in the bottom left corner. Yeah, I sort of gave up on it. I feel like being such a small YouTuber... This is my thinking behind it, why I gave up on it. I felt like being such a small YouTuber and not really getting a huge amount of interest. It didn't warrant a Discord. I didn't have that community that sort of joined in and chatted and stuff. So I sort of gave up on it. It isn't something I'm against. I'd very much happily have a Discord where we can all hang out and chat and share things. And I had a Discord for Justy Blocks, which is a channel I started. Is a channel I started during lockdown. Obviously, I had plenty of time on my hands. I wasn't working, so I went, you know what? I'm starting a Roblox channel, which I did. And one of the games on Roblox took off. Oh, this takes some power pushing this. Yeah, one of the games took off, which was Creatures of Sonaria. I'm going to say it wrong because it annoys people. And I did many videos, and the channel actually did really well. Last live stream was Ark Survival of the Fittest. Yeah, I remember that actually. I'll go back to my other channel story. Survival of the Fittest, I was playing it for ages and doing really well. And as soon as I decided to live stream it, I did rubbish. Absolute terrible. Before that, fine. And I was like, right, not doing that again. But yeah, Justy Blocks did really well, much better than this channel. But I've always loved this sort of thing. This is where my heart is. And Justy Blocks became quite repetitive. I did lots of creature showcases, which people loved. They did. That's what they wanted to see. But it got to the point where it wasn't fun to make, especially when I had to return to work. So I sort of called that a day. I don't have the time for two channels, and ultimately my heart lies in Just Roscoe. It just does. I love PC gaming. I love simulation games and things like that. And I love doing videos. I know I don't get huge amounts of views, but I enjoy doing it. So that's why I do it. But yeah, Discord will come eventually, if I think there's a place for it. Your channel, yeah, I've read that. Yeah, Ark Survival of the Fittest. That was a good game. I think that's in... Did they do a new version with the new Ark? There's another... We seem to have a theme recently of sequels. And I say sequels. Ark Survival Ascended. That the second one? It's a remake, right? Which looks beautiful. I can't deny that. It does look beautiful. Well, I do think there was a bit of disappointment with that one when it came out as well. So it seems to be a running theme that these developers have a really popular game and then release a second one. There wasn't as much disappointment as City Skylines 2, but it does seem to be quite common recently. And of course, cool, when it comes I will join. Oh, lovely. Oh, I've never had anyone wanting to join my Discord before. I might set one up then. Yeah, and there's also Ark 2, right? Ark 2's in the works, apparently. But let's be fair, with Wildcard making it, that could be any time in the next 10 years that comes out. Cool. Do you play Planet Zoo? Yes, I love Planet Zoo. I love Planet Zoo. I love Planet Coaster. Frontier have to be up there as some of my favourite developers, especially for the Planet series. Those are right up my street. I love making things out of thousands of different bits and pieces and just sitting back at the end of it and going, do you know what? I made that. And going back when the channel started, I did Planet Coaster content. Planet Coaster content. But it didn't get any traction, and it takes so long. So long to make one of those videos. If you think I presume you play Planet Zoo, Tempe builds? Do you like spending a long time building one building, or are you more like download some blueprints and put those down? Because obviously there's different types of players. And I think that's the great thing about the workshop, the blueprint workshop with Frontier. If you are that sort of player that doesn't want to spend your entire time building each individual little bit of a building, you can just go on the workshop, get someone else's and put that down. Me, on the other hand, I could spend many hours building. I've messed this field up quite significantly. If we look at the map, that's quite an angle I've put that on. I was planning on going from here to here. That did not work. Yep, I love building. And let's be fair, the Planet series is the pinnacle of building, isn't it? No other game comes close, in my opinion. And I love Frontier. I do think even when they make mistakes with their games, you know they're going to fix it. You know they're going to keep adding and adding to it and making it better and better. That's just something I have huge respect for Frontier. I know they've been having a bit of a difficult time recently, right? They've let some people go and stuff like that. I think they're going to concentrate more on their Planet series. And that makes sense to me. They're so popular, it just makes sense. Other things I do find some of their choices a bit odd. You love my presentation style. You should have a lot more subscribers. But yeah, maybe live stream will help. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. I'm hoping live streaming may introduce me to a somewhat larger audience. Maybe. But yeah, so Frontier, I can't big them up completely. I do find some of their choices were bizarre. Planet Zoo, for example. Not to have birds, like aviaries and stuff. I find it very strange that wasn't just something they were going to do anyway. I get like the aquarium builds. I wasn't going to expect that from a zoo game, if I'm honest. Or if we were, it would have came a lot later like it did. But it wasn't something I was massively upset that wasn't in the game. But like aviaries and that, almost every zoo I've ever been to has had parrots and aviaries and... Oh, wait. I build in The Sims 4, Planet Zoo. I will be making a new zoo soon. I would be here for Planet Zoo streams for sure. Yeah, see, again, Planet Zoo is very much like this game. I think it's very nicely suited for streams because of the amount of time it takes. I have huge respect for developers who fully beta test their games before releasing them. I'm not a fan of paying $70 to be a beta tester whilst the developers take another year or so to fix it. Again, I think that's a valid point, Toxic. Let's be fair. That seems to happen more and more nowadays as well. One of the things I like about Steam is early access. The game tends to be a little bit cheaper. You know what you're paying for. You know it might be a broken mess at this point, but you're supporting the developers as they do it. That's one thing. But releasing a game, Like, I've played some. If you back on one of my old videos, there was a school game. This is years ago now. They released a school game, and I'm sure, I'm sure it was like, was it full release? I don't know. But even in the case of if it was early access, it was the most broken thing, and I mean this. It was the most broken thing I've ever played in my life. It just never got any better. Sometimes I think they release games when they shouldn't. That they go, do you know what? This is ready to push out. And you play it and you think it's not ready to push out. The minimum you should have is the basic gameplay sorted. I don't mind bugs. I have no issue with bugs and glitches and things like that. But you need a game to be able to release it. Ooh, I would love parrots. Yes, because that's normal in a zoo. Parrots and toucans and surely they, even if they weren't going to give us, which annoys me, because even if they weren't going to give us the ability to build our own aviaries, like the, what's the tanks, the lizards and turtles and all that, I mean, you can't build your own, can you? It's a set piece with them in it. They could have done that at least, just to give us them. I'd prefer to be able to build my own enclosure for all of the animals, but I get why they didn't. And another, I'm not, like, you know I like Frontier, I've just told you. But like Planet Zoo, the DLC, I have to say, leaves me a little unsure. Especially just the animal packs. I feel like, I don't know. Me personally, for example, I get making those animals and all the detailing is a lot of work. But if it was me, I'd be happy for them to boost it up with a couple more animals. It wouldn't take so much work. So, for example, you get lions. There's different species of lions, right? Give me a different subspecies. Subspecies, that's the word I'm looking for. Give me a different subspecies of an animal that's already in the game. Let's be fair. You look at the subspecies of lions, they are pretty much the same thing. Just slightly different looking, like color-wise or something like that. And I just think that would be a way of boosting the amount of animals you get in a pack without making their workload even bigger. I just think it would feel more sufficient for what you're paying. But that's just me. I just like to point out to anyone in here, I'm not actually toxic in real life, it's just a screen name. Don't believe him. Excuse me. So we've got 3 fields. We've got no way of planting those fields. And as I say, if we go to here, there you go, fertilization. So we've got partial fertilization. This is the issue. Unless you've got solid grass everywhere, you don't get a complete fertilization. But it's free, and we're poor, so that's not bad. I think we're going to have to sleep again. Oh, yep, drop that there then. Fine, that's fine. It still hasn't taken that. Have you not used much wood yet? No, not too much. Okay, let's sleep again, because we do need some money. I'm not sure how many times I'm going to have to sleep to get the amount of money we need, but let's move into the next month. Do you use modded animals in Planet Zoo? Do you know what? I've recently started doing that. I don't know why. I've always been afraid to use modded animals in Planet Zoo in case it messes it up because you put so much time into a zoo. Imagine putting modded animals in and it breaking it and you never being able to get access to it. But yeah, I've started to, and they brilliant. They had a massive amount of variety, and let's be fair, the modded animals are stunning. Some of them, they've done just as good a job as the developers have done. Easily. So yes, I recommend it. I've not had any issues with modded animals. Kind of like Jurassic World Evolution. Yeah, now again, yeah. So same developers. Planet Coaster, Planet Zoo, Jurassic World Evolution. Very much the same developers. But I have to say I was disappointed. I feel like I'm slagging off games here, but I'm not. I was disappointed with Jurassic World Evolution for one reason. It's obviously playing Planet Coaster. I was expecting that but I wasn't expecting it. That's what I was hoping for. A dinosaur park building game like Planet Coaster. But obviously, it's not their franchise. They're doing it. They're hired to make that. They're doing that game for the people who own Jurassic World, and there's restrictions on what they can do. And the Jurassic World Evolution is very much based on the original Jurassic World. What was the original building Jurassic World game? I played it when I was younger so much. And they've very much given us that. They've given us that, but better and newer. And it is a brilliant game. I soon got over my disappointment, but I will say I would have loved a Jurassic World Planet Zoo style game. Dinosaurs escaping every 2 seconds if you have 3 wall barriers. There can be some annoyances. You're so getting it tomorrow morning, Mr. Oh, am I? Wait, I've missed some. It's not really tough. Most games today are 33% development and 67% AI driven. It's like these new GPUs. Are you having a moan, Toxic? A massive amount of AI for every 33 million pixels in a game. You're losing me on this. They only actually develop 2 million of them. The AI generates the other 31 million. Oh, so the AI makes it easier for them. You're also getting it tomorrow. Dinosaurs escaping every 2 seconds. Yes. Again, things like dinosaurs escaping and a bit like tornadoes in this game. Very much the same thing. Some people will love it. Some people will not. The good thing about this game is this gives you the option to turn them on and off. I think a way around dinosaurs escaping every 2 seconds is to have a setting in the settings where you can choose, I don't know, like a low, medium or high risk of them escaping. And if you just want a more relaxed game where there's a low chance of them escaping, pull it down to low. And it's your choice as the player. And I think more games... I love this mist. Look, how nice does that look? Like, I know the game's not the best looking, but the weather effects, like the fog and that, does sort of make it look nice. Yeah, so I think games need to go more into that side of it, of giving you, the gamer, the option in the options to choose how you want it. Prime example, going back to TCG Card Shop Simulator, we've got 11 grand. That's not bad. TCG Card Shop Simulator. The smelly people. Like, wow. Are they annoying? It's just like constant smelly people. I'd happily have the option to turn that off. Very much so. If the option was there to turn off the smelly people, that would be done. Because, let's be fair, you're calling it a simulator. Card Shop Simulator. I work in a shop. I don't go around spraying smelly customers. I go around spraying the shop after the smelly customers have left. But yeah, things like... I think games need to give you more control over what parts of the game you want to play and what you don't want to play. I think you'd please everyone then. Oh, wait, that's my field. Wow, that's... that... Wait, it's the sun rays coming from behind me. Yeah, see, look. See, that looks nice. I know Toxic's going to say it doesn't. But the sun rays coming through there, lovely. This new DLSS4 system is the reason why the new 570 can give the same performance as the 490, but without DLSS4's AI system, it doesn't come down to my 4060, let alone the 4090. You don't work, you turn up and pretend to work. Don't listen to him, I do work. I work in a retail environment, serving customers, selling them shoes. Right. How am I going to make some more money? This is my issue. How much is an animal pen? Maybe we should have got a mower? Got a mower, which would have we could have sowed the grass. So, yeah, horses, no, they take so much work. Cows, 15 grand for a basic pasture. They don't produce anything, though. If you want milk, you need to go for much, much more expensive buildings. I got some lovely modded ones as well. Look at this building. This building's fantastic, and it comes with a pasture. Love it. But that's 150,000. That's out of our price range. Pigs are really, really awkward. Hello. Hello, I am Tempe Builds on YouTube. Hi. Oh yeah, I didn't notice in my comments it tells me where you're watching it from in when you comment. Interesting. So mainly YouTube from the looks of it. Anyway, yeah, so pigs, great. I love doing pigs, but they are really awkward with their food requirements. Like, look down here. Look at the list of ingredients that you can put in. Nice sun rays, by the way. Would have looked even better if the graphics were 2025, not 1925. Wow. Burn. Sheep. Now that's not a bad idea. 14,000. They only require grass, which we don't have, I know. Chickens, again, I love the fact we've got some smaller hutches. Hutches, I don't know what you'd call it. Looks like a rabbit hutch, I'd say hutch. That only holds 20 chickens though. But, like, you've even got storage buildings now with an area on the end for... I found you on Twitch. I am, yes. Yeah, so like buildings like this, they've added into the game. I love that, with that little bit of chickens on the end, and then you've got some storage area. Bees, oh, they've ruined bees in the new game. I say ruined it. They don't produce honey anywhere near as quickly, but I always use them because they give your flowering crops a boost if they're in the nearby area. Look at that. The sun and the fog make the game look so much better. Just have it sunny and foggy all the time. But yeah, a lot of modded beehives on here. I've got a lot. Then we've got the dog. Yeah, so I don't think animals is going to help us here. We may have to take out more loan, I feel. And get a seeder. Can I seed it? Do I have to cultivate it first? How do I know if it's a direct seeder? No previous cultivating or ploughing is necessary. Oh, so I can plant into ploughed. That's fine. I'm so used to, like, I think in my personal game, this was my first seeder. Which is a direct drill anyway, so... But it was in the sale. I had the luxury of getting it in the sale, which I don't now. So yeah, let's take out a loan. What's the worst that can happen? It's called an STY and in pigsty. Small shut sty? No, for the chickens. I know that pigs live in a pigsty. Chickens, is that a sty as well? Chicken sty? I've never heard of a chicken sty. Finances. Okay, how much do we need? Getting distracted. I'm thinking we'll just go for this little one here. We'll get something in the ground. Obviously, I'm going to avoid spinach because the harvest has so much money. Chickens live in my belly. Coop. Coop, thank you, McWoozle. Coop is the word I was looking for. Yes, it was there on the tip of my brain. Yeah, so we're going to avoid peas and spinach just because the sheer amount it costs for the harvester. We could lease. Why don't I lease? I'm sat here going, oh, I need the money to buy something. I could literally just lease it. That might be better. Okay, so how much is that to lease? 1,708. Lovely. Chicken nuggets. Chicken, yes. Yes, McWoozle already said chicken coop. Toxic. Yeah, shall we lease? I always feel like leasing's a bit cheaty, but we're not going to have much choice in the matter. What pays well, though? And what can we... Because obviously we've got a calendar that we can only plant at the right time of year. So currently, we can plant barley or wheat. Barley or wheat. So we might as well go wheat then, in all fairness. Not sure what we're going to do with it. Let's go cedars. Oh, I'm not leasing you till I get there, actually, because I don't want to waste... I don't know how to... Which side of the map am I on? I don't know how to... Because you have to pay for the lease, and then you have to pay for work hours, right? And then you pay for time you've had it? I don't know. We'll find out when we get there. I don't lease very often. Like, if I wasn't live streaming, I would just cut down tree and cut down tree and cut down tree and cut down tree, drag them all over to the sawmill and sell them little by little by little. And put a lot of time into it. But obviously, that's going to be very repetitive and very boring. I love this fog. Just be foggy all the time, game. You hide the ugliness. Calm down, calm down. I can't help having crappy internet. It's like using Royal Mail when I press send by the time it appears on screen. Oh dear. Oh, what? Right. Let's get this cedar. We're gonna do wheat. We'll do wheat in all of the fields for now. I've bought the... Why have I bought that with me? I bought the winch with me. No, don't run it over. Can I put the winch on the front? Just to transport it. Can we? Yes, yes I can. Okay. Nothing's ruined. The stream probably finished an hour ago, and I'm still catching up. Oh, poor Toxic. Right, cedar. I'm determined to get these fields seeded before the end of the episode. Lease. Yeah, so base cost 670. Per work day 335, and then per work hour 703. So I presume if we have it for another day, that'll cost us 335. If we use it for 2 hours straight, it's going to cost us double that. Okay, interesting. Now I need some seeds of some description. How much are they? Where's the seeds? Am I in the wrong one? I think I might be. Oh, push the right button, Roscoe. There they are. We could just have a... Do we want a big bag like this? Yeah, do it. Can't imagine we're going to use many. Perfect. Let's go and hook up to that. This is going to take a while. This is quite a small cedar. There we go. Hook it on. Refill the cedar. Oh, plenty of seeds in there. Lovely. Shut the cover down. Off we go. So they have added GPS into this new version, which is actually really handy. I like the GPS. It works well. I'm drinking my cold tea. It's gone cold. I need to leave like a trail of breadcrumbs here so I know my way back to the farm. I sort of aim for those trees because I know that's where we are. Somewhere over that way. Where's my field, people? It's here somewhere. Wow, that is bright fog. And thick fog. I genuinely can't see anything. Oh, there's a field here. I know there is. Oh, yeah, it's on my mini-map. I'm not used to having the mini-map up. I normally have it closed. But I thought, as soon as I'm streaming, you guys can see what's going on down there if needs be. So yeah, we come up to here. If we press H, it brings up this. So this is the you know what I mean. Gone out of my mind. Yeah, this helps us drive in straight lines and sets out a route for us. It doesn't drive it automatically, as you'll see. So if we have an AI worker, we'd go onto here. That's the route we want him to do. We can tell him to do the up and down or the headlands first. We can change the number of headlands he does up. We can put like a higher amount, but we can't put it down for some reason. But we can also use it as steer and assist. What is fog density in the other view? As in first person view? Above view? Look at that. One little cloud of fog. Oh, it's starting to break up, is it? Oh yeah, look, you can... Because there was a bit over here. Tea toast, a warm blanket, and a farming stream. Happy Tempe. Yay! That sounds good, actually. Tea toast, warm blanket. Yes. Is it just toast with butter, or do we have a topping on it? Yeah, so... I've done that bit, right? So yeah, so you do this. You put how many headlands you want. I think we'll go 1. Yeah, we'll go 1. First person. Work direction, show lines, press OK. Wait. Yep, that's me in the fog. I like the fog. I think they've done a great job with that. Yeah, so you get the lines come up. I actually love this because I can't drive in a straight line to save my life. Then we're going to come down here. We're going to start this end where our field stones are. Press H so you select the line, and then press cruise control, button 3. Lower and turn on everything. Wait. Did that work? First you need... Oh, I need to unfold. Wait, what unfolded then? Oh, that little... Okay. That wheel makes all the difference, apparently. It probably does. First person, yeah, not bad. Like your hat. Yeah, I know. I went for sort of a cowboy feel. Got the boots and the gloves. There's me saying I want a British farm, and I'm dressed like a cowboy. Right, now turn it on. Press H to select it. Right, lower it down and then press 3 to go. And it'll drive along the line. It'll follow the line, so it'll go in a straight line. It'll go exactly where you want it to. You don't have to steer. You just have to tell it which line and the GPS takes over. Nice bit of apricot jam. I have to be honest, I've never had apricot jam. Brookback Mountain. I knew you'd say something like that. Yeah, I've never had apricot jam. Strawberry tends to be my go-to. There we go. So that's that line done. It does do weird bits like this. Obviously, because I've made a weird shaped field. So you would then have to do that little bit there if you wanted to. I tend to find for the headlands, it's actually better not using it and then just using it for the up and downs. Ah, wait. Let's start that again. Getting used to reading and talking and playing all at the same time. Drop that down. Yeah, I'd say do the headlands without GPS and just use GPS for the up and down. That's my personal preference. Just because it's not a... If the headlands was a continuous line, fine, but it's not. It's broken up into little lines. So you have to keep stopping and starting on each one. Right, wheat is going in. We're planting crops like a farmer. Very, very slowly. Might have helped if I dropped the winch off, but it's fine. All the way around. I might have to try some apricot jam at some point. Marmalade. See, I used to love marmalade. I haven't had that in so long. I think I'd go with strawberry because we used to go to Spain every year by coach. Yeah, 36 hours. And you used to sleep on the coach. And then when you got over in the morning, you'd stop for breakfast. And we always stopped at the same service station. And they did the best croissants I've ever had. And they were always amazing. I used to look forward to that every year. And they always gave you butter. Well, they didn't. It's a service station. They always charged you for butter and jam. And I always went strawberry then. And I've always sort of just stuck with strawberry. Right, now we can just go up and down, up and down. Nope, that didn't work. It made the noise. Right, click that one, do that one. Away we go. This might take a while. Yeah, so we could do spinach. I said I wasn't going to, because we could lease the harvester. I just feel like we're going to need a much bigger quantity to warrant the price. I can't imagine it's going to be cheap. Should we put our... there we go, we're working. We're going to put our beacons on so people can see us. Not that there's... I was going to say not that there's another living soul in the vicinity, but there is a lady over at the sawmill. The unimpressed lady. See, this is how you're supposed to do it, right? You're just supposed to go up and down, up and down, up and down. And it helps if you lower the machine when you do that. Marmite. I love Marmite. Marmite and peanut butter. 2 pieces of toast, one with Marmite on, one with peanut butter on. Put them together as a sandwich. Yes. Some people will either love that suggestion or hate it. Oh, a bit like Marmite. Yeah, I'm a fan of Marmite. I understand why a lot of people aren't. Well, I find that the peanut butter adds to it. So you've got the creaminess of the peanut butter and then the sharpness of the Marmite, and they just work very well together. No, that one. That one, please. Thank you. And away we go. I've missed a patch already, I can see. Got my winch on the front. That's not obstructing my view at all. Little bit obstructing my view. Right, slow down. So you don't have to put it in cruise control over. You can actually use backwards and forwards, and it'll still stick to the line. Wait. Someone's mentioned Yorkshire tea. Yes, the only tea that should be available. Yorkshire tea with multi-grain sourdough toast and apricot jam. Perfect for an afternoon snack. That sounds lovely. It does. Massive fan of Yorkshire tea here. I love my tea. On a Sunday, for example, when I do a lot of my recording for my videos, I will just, as soon as my cup's empty, I'll record an episode, I suppose, and then I'll go and make a cup of tea. Then I'll come back and record an episode and make a cup of tea. So probably every hour throughout the entirety of Sunday, I'm making a cup of tea. And I could probably still drink more than that. True Brit here. I'm with the tea. I like coffee, don't get me wrong. I'll have a latte on the way to work normally. But for the rest of the day, it's tea. Yes, Yorkshire tea, it has to be. Yes, it does. McWoozle knows what it's like. Yorkshire tea is the best. None of this other dishwater stuff. Or even worse, like Red Bush and horrible stuff like that. Nope. And it fascinates me when you go to like coffee shops and that. None of them ever seem to do Yorkshire tea. It's like they always do like Twinings, or PG seems to be one I see a lot in coffee shops. But yeah, just do Yorkshire. The tea of all teas. This is why I couldn't live anywhere else, because I couldn't go without my Yorkshire tea. I'm going to tell him you said that. I knew you would. The reason I picked on Red Bush is because Toxic's dad drinks Red Bush. It's not for me. Like, no. But then he thinks the same about my Yorkshire tea. He thinks it's horrendous. Like, I like my tea to be a nice orange colour. It's supposed to be strong. Yeah. I work with a lady, and she has her tea. She has the biggest cup I've ever seen. And then you fill it with boiling water. And then you dip a tea bag into it. If it's a Yorkshire tea bag, she has 2 dips. Any other tea bag is 4 dips. And that's how she drinks it. I'm like, no. Put it in, let it brew. Oh wait, I'm on the wrong line. See, I think this is more faffy doing it this way. It just takes longer. Maybe if we go up and down every other, we won't have to turn so much. Let's try that. I don't think any of it. I don't drink any of it. I'll stick to my cherry Rubicon. I take my own tea bag and ask for hot water and milk. That's a brilliant idea. Just carry tea bags around in your pocket. I like that idea. I always, if I'm staying anywhere or going on holiday, I always take plenty of Yorkshire tea bags with me. Always. Because even abroad, like, when I've been abroad, like, even if you want a British blend, because let's be fair, no offence to Europe, you're not great at tea. PG Tips tends to be the one you see a lot for the British brands. Never Yorkshire. Yorkshire tea. Yes, that's a good idea, taking a tea bag with you. I don't tend to drink tea in cafes and that, because I find, like, let's be fair, they're charging you for mainly hot water. I'm not planting well here. Me talking and concentrating. Yeah, I find if I'm going to pay for a drink, I might as well pay for a coffee. Plus, they tend to be coffee shops. And I think if you're in a coffee shop, drink coffee. That's what they specialise in. Nothing like a good... Wow. I'm not reading that one out, Toxic. This is family stream. Tempe Bills, how does that go down? Do they do it? Yeah, actually... Tempe Builds, how does that go down? Are they offended you've bought your own tea bag? Do they still charge you the price of a tea bag for the milk and hot water? I know they shouldn't, but do they? That's like going into a restaurant and taking your own burger, surely. But then I suppose if you're having your own tea, but you're buying like a sandwich or a cake or something, they're still getting business from you. Sometimes they do. Okay, fair enough. It depends. Yeah, see, I can see why some would and some wouldn't. When I worked in a coffee shop, I would have. But then it wasn't my coffee shop, so... Right, lift that up. I've sort of got this intention of getting the fields planted, but I am running out of time. I've got a game of Skittles tonight that I have to get ready for. Many of you, if any of you, may not know what Skittles is. It's a pub game played mainly in the south of England. It's a bit like temping in a pub, but not. Great description. Hang on, the family lol. To be honest, I'm surprised most coffee shops would refuse unless it's for genuine allergy. I'm surprised. Most coffee shops would refuse. Yeah, see, I'd imagine a coffee shop would. But then, that's the coffee shop's fault for not selling decent tea. Toxic. That's a simple answer there, isn't it? And the Midlands, yes, yeah. Yeah, I've been playing Skittles since I was 16, I think I started playing for a Skittle team. Getting another cuppa. Oh, yes please. Well, I sort of travel around a lot around Britain doing refits with my company, setting up new shops and stuff. And you mention Skittles and people look at you blankly like, I do like a good old-fashioned pub sport. I like Skittles, table Skittles. I've always wanted to try Shove Halfpenny, but you don't really see that anymore. Right, I reckon we'll get one field done at least. Progress. We can always continue in our next live stream. 16, whoa. That was years ago. Oh, thanks for that, Toxic. That makes me feel much better. You didn't have to say it like years. It says you, actually. I'd like to point out Toxic is older than me. By a long way. Oh, what am I doing here? Did I I was going to say I thought he'd respond to that, but it takes him a while. Are you West Country? I've been trying to place your accent for ages. No worries, Gramps. I'm Gloucestershire. Yeah, Gloucestershire is where I'm from. If that helps. It's an odd accent in all fairness. It's not your... It's a bit of a mix. I don't know how, because I've lived here all my life. No worries. I'm not... Technically, no. Technically, no what? Toxic. Oh, Worcester, yes. I've been to Worcester. Been there for work. I remember working in Worcester and getting quite stressed on the job I was on. Very stressed, in fact. Worcester's lovely. I used to go there regularly every year for the Victorian market. They do a Victorian Christmas market. I presume they still do that. Really nice. It's almost Somerset. He's a proper jobber. Somerset type accent. Lol. Okay, I'm getting used to driving and reading at the same time now. Sort of. Don't look at the field. Well, technically, I'm only 12. Oh, yes, because of the leap year. Do they still... They do still. Very popular. Yeah, I can see why it is popular. I really enjoyed it. I always remember where we used to park, and then across the road from where we parked, you had like a carousel. Oh, I'm getting all confused over my buttons. A carousel, and they used to have a big full roast suckling pig that you could get in a row with stuff in. And I used to look forward to that every time as well. I haven't been in a while. Yeah, see, we could have pigs on here. I can't do a roast suckling pig, like on a spit, but we can't even send them to an abattoir or anything in this game, which I get. But that's sort of a family-friendly option they've gone for. Which again is, that sort of falls in my category of give the player the option. I know this sounds strange, like, it's a simulator game. You're raising animals for, let's be fair, you're raising 2 of the cow breeds in game for that very specific reason. Bit like Planet Zoo not including mating. Again, perfectly acceptable they didn't include that. I completely understand from a company's point of view not including it. And giving birth, but these are things that happen in zoos. So again, give me the option to decide whether I want to see that or not. Not that I'm going to sit there watching it, but you know what I mean. For we're miles off this line. That's because I didn't press what I was supposed to. So if we do all the fields, well, we could do these 2 fields as wheat, and then we'll do the top field, the oddly aligned and shaped field. There was 2 crops we could plant this month, wasn't there? Wheat and barley, if I remember correctly. We could do barley over the other side of the forest, because they're both going to take the same harvester. Actually, it depends if they're going to be harvested at the same time. Because I don't want to rent the harvester twice. And we're not actually going to make that much money from these fields. I know it sounds strange. But it is one thing that sort of baffles me with this game. The actual crop growing is not where you make your money. Everything else in the game is where you make your money. You just grow the crops because it's a farming game and that's what's done. They still do. Build in... But in zoo you need a male... Yes, you do need a male and female to produce offspring. Very, very true. This game seems to have ignored that fact unless you're a chicken. They never even had baby animals, if I remember correctly, in the last game. I'm sure they didn't, because I used to have a mod that used to put the baby animals in, but it also put male and female animals in. And then when they announced they were having babies, I thought, oh, they've taken notice of that mod. They're bound to put males and females in. No. No. That's another realistic thing you could do, because obviously a breeding bull is worth quite a lot of money. They're quite expensive. So farmers rent them. They have them for a couple of weeks and get their females impregnated, and then it goes back to its owner. Nice little things like that would be ways of introducing more into the animal side of the game. No mating in Planet Zoo, so where do you get the babies from? They sort of rub up against each other and interact in a friendly manner, and then however long later for their gestation, it just pops into existence. I almost feel like, you know, in Lion King when Simba's just sang Hakuna Matata, and then Nala turns up and they greet each other. That's how mating works in Planet Zoo. It makes sense. I understand why they didn't put it in the game. It sort of limits who they can sell it to. A bit like Conan, isn't it? The Conan games. But they've done the right thing, Conan. They've given you the option. You can either start completely naked or with a loincloth on. Your choice. I used to live right next door to a beef farm. Nothing like being woken up at 3 a.m. listening to the sound of cows going bonkers that their calves are taken away. Yeah. That must... Yeah, see, if you think about it, it must be sad for animals. I'm not going to turn vegetarian or anything like that, save the animals, because I like my meat too much. Right. That field's done, right? I've probably missed some. Let's have a look on this screen, because it'll show my mistakes. No. Do you know what? There's one tiny little bit there, look. That tiny little bit there is all I've missed. Amazing. Okay, happy with that. As I say, I do have plans tonight, so I am going to have to end the episode there. But I've enjoyed this. We'll come back. We'll continue. We'll build this farm up. I'll tell you what, at the beginning of the next live stream, when we play this, I'll show you my personal farm, my private farm that I play with my friends. And you can see sort of where I'm aiming for. And then we'll jump in here, we'll get the fields planted up, we'll make some more money. If you've enjoyed this, thanks for sticking around. Go check out the channel, there's plenty more videos on there. And until next time, I'll see you again.